Right, well, it gives us great pleasure to introduce our next guest to the stage. He is the art director of Transformers Animated, the man who is responsible for the look, the feel, the style of the show. It is Mr. Derrick J Wyatt.
Hi. Hello. Bonjour. How are you?
Sleepy. So if you have any questions for Derrick, Baz?
Put their hand up.
I thought you were going to ask a question. So if you all want to take your seats and we'll get started. Derrick can give a little introduction, I'm sure, about himself, much better than I can. And then if you have any questions about Transformers Animated, just stick your hand up, somebody will come along with a mic and you can ask away. Derrick, over to you.
Oh, hello. It's me again. Oh, thank you. So, I was involved in a little cartoon called Transformers Animated. And I do some robots. That's all I can remember right now. So, I don't know, should we open the floor to questions?
Yeah.
Got one for you.
Okay. Where?
Hello, I'm over here in the corner.
Which corner?
This one.
Oh, way over there, okay.
Hi.
Hello.
What's with the chins?
The
I like the
chins.
designs otherwise, they are pretty cool, but Starscream has a very, very long chin.
Yes, he does. I wanted to do a cartoonier look and more kind of stereotypical heroic kind of look for the characters. So it was sort of like the Batman animated kind of look. That's what I was going for.
Next question. Was Sentinel Prime purposely meant to resemble the Tick because of the voice actor who played it?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Was Sentinel Prime based on the voice actor's previous career as a Tick?
What is this, Tick?
The Tick. Spoon!
No, I don't know. Sorry.
Could you tell us about how you got the job to design the characters for Transformers Animated?
Yeah, I had been working with Transformers Animated executive producer Sam Register on Teen Titans, and he really liked my work on Titans. And when Sam went to a free agent, and he was kind of trying to set up this deal with Hasbro and Cartoon Network to do this show, he came to me and had me do development on those characters, and they ended up liking what I did, so that's how I got the job. It's all connections.
You put a lot of character into, like, back into what is generally just block robots. Do you have any inspiration for the characters, like through, I don't know, celebrities in the media, that kind of thing?
Sometimes, like Rekar was definitely had a Weird Al influence to him. Generally, I just try to. I think in G1, when you heard the voice, you understood what the character was. I was just trying to bring that into the design of the character too. So when you look at Mixmaster and Scrapper, you know they're construction workers. You know, and I was trying to do that with every character.
Of all the characters in Transformers Animated, which ones were the hardest to design?
I think Lockdown and Prowl went through their most revision. Lockdown started out completely differently. I guess those two are the ones that changed the most. I don't know if they were that difficult. It was just that everything was part of that process.
Which character did you most like designing?
I thought Bulkhead was really fun to design because it was he sort of set the style for the show, and he let me cut loose from the G1 style and really go into a different direction. So he was really fun to do, and then of course I love designing Swindle because it's my favorite all-time Transformer.
What was your favourite creation that you added into the Transformers mythos?
I guess Bulkhead is my favorite. I'm really partial to him.
When you're designing a new character, where do you start? What's the first thing you do as a designer?
Generally, I will start with the head and try to let the personality and character come through in that, and then I'll try to, once I get a head I like, I'll do the rest of the body and try to get that personality to go through the whole body.
Hiya. You mentioned Bulkhead just there in particular. I remember a cartoon when I was young, and I haven't seen it since, called Mighty Autobots,
yes.
which Bulkhead reminds me of.
Absolutely.
That. Was that an influence at
Oh
all?
yeah, that was definitely one of the first decisions I made creatively was I kind of wanted to take the Gundam out of Transformers and plug Mighty Robots back into that, so it was a little more cartoony and I think a little more fluid design that could animate like that, and that was always one of my favorite cartoons growing up too. So it was kind of a way to get nostalgic and do Transformers and that at the same time, squish them together.
Yeah, no, I really love that. Bulkhead is one of my favourite characters in all Transformers now. So
thank you.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
He's almost Patrick Star.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Derrick from Hasbro?
I'm sorry, didn't you hear that?
What was it like working with Derrick from Hasbro?
Oh, Eric Siebenoller? He was, it was great working with Eric. He was a really good working relationship. We ended up really working back and forth really well, and Eric is the reason that the toys look like the show, and I can't credit him enough.
Did you get to keep any of the prototype figures that weren't released?
No.
Second question as well. How do you feel that one of the characters you created, Lockdown, has seemed to have transcended your show and become kind of part of generic Transformers lore?
I think that's fantastic. I love that stuff is living on. I know there's a Lugnut plan too, and I'd like to see more of that. Perhaps they'll do a Professor Princess in the next Michael Bay movie.
I've got a question for you, Derek. What influences you in the way you go to a new series like Transformers Animated?
Well, Mighty Robots was a big influence. I looked at a lot of ABC Warriors when I was designing it too. Different anime, Mazinger and some Gynax stuff. And then obviously I kept the influence of Glenn Murakami from the Untitled stuff, and that worked its way into it too. So there's my list.
Did your work on Teen Titans inspire you to use a lot of human villains in the show?
I think that was an idea that was in the series Bible before I came on board. They wanted to keep the Decepticons as a bigger threat, so they could have these little humans that they could defeat along the way while the Decepticon menace was building. But that definitely, I'm really influenced by that kind of Silver Age DC kind of comic character. So a lot of the villains are inspired by that stuff.
Oh, First of all, thank you for your work on Transformers Animated.
You're welcome.
And my actual question sort of follows on from the previous one. When you're designing a character, do you have any input in the actual characterization, or are you just responsible for the visuals?
Yeah, no, I think that, well, it can work both ways. Either the, I assume you're talking about the voice acting and the writing, right?
Yeah, like how the actual characters come out on the screen.
Sometimes my rough sketch will influence that, and sometimes I work from the script or from what the voice actor sounds like. So it can really go either way.
Anybody else?
Are there any characters you'd have liked to design that you didn't get to do?
Yeah, about 1,000. There's so many. There's so many characters that I would have wanted to do. A lot of Decepticons, because it was easier to put Autobot cameos in than Decepticons because they were, they're all scattered throughout the galaxy. I never got to do Blot. Blot's one of my favorites. I would have liked to do Deathsaurus and Hellbat and Mindwipe and let's see what else. Do more cassettes, and I would like to do Stampy and Longrack, and the list goes on and on.
What inspired you to create characters like Nanosec and Professor Princess?
Nanosec was in I think the pilot script that Marty wrote. It was like a speedster character, but so that one was kind of created by the time I came on board. But like the Headmaster was my idea. I thought it would be cool to take a Transformer concept and turn that into a human villain. And Professor Princess was inspired by all my sister's toys. When we were growing up, when I had Transformers, she had all these colorful, inane things that I didn't understand. So I thought they were evil, and that's how she became a villain.
Will you review what the plans for the series going forward? If there was going to be another series, do you know?
Well, Marty started to write the 3-part opener for the next season, The Trial of Megatron, and that would have delved into that, into the Decepticons going on trial for their crimes against Cybertronity or whatever it is, and there was Sentinel's power play was going to come into it, trying to make himself permanent Magnus instead of just acting Magnus. Meanwhile, there was a sort of a grassroots popular support springing up around Optimus after he captured Megatron. We wanted to get more into Black Raphia's backstory on how she came to be a Decepticon and worked for Megatron, and that would also tie into Blitzwing's triple changing origin. So there was that backstory too, and then wanted to round out the Constructicons and do Devastator, and finish off the Dinobots and have the Dinobots and Devastator fight to the death.
I've got a question. Do you think it was a missed opportunity not to continue animating? Do you think there's still life in it?
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's. I'm really glad that we got to do what we did, but of course, doing more would have been fun too.
Who in this room would like to see another season of anime?
I don't think I heard that. What? That was quieter that time.
Hi there.
Hello.
Sort of following on from that question, now that you've told us sort of what you were planning to do, and it's also been published, like the episode summaries for season 4, is that definitely not going to be used in any other medium then?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question.
Alright, thanks.
With the end of animated, Transformers is obviously rebooted on a semi-regular basis. From the background of the studio and the licensing arrangements, is there anything to prevent a continuation of the original run?
Of continuing animated?
The original J1.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not Hasbro.
Not heard any background information or any studio talk of anything like that.
No, the Prime is. I think Transformers Prime will be more movie driven than G1.
Can you tell us a little bit how you first got into sort of drawing and being a character designer?
Well, I started drawing when I was a kid, and basically it never stopped. And I went to a school called the Joe Kubert School of Cartoon and Graphic Art, where I was actually initially going to try to be a comic book artist, and then I had a friend who was in the animation program. And around about that time, the redesign of the new Batman Adventures came out, and I was just completely blown away by how they distilled down those characters and twisted them and turned them into something new and classic at the same time. And it really opened my eyes to the possibility you could do with design and how you could bring new life to these kind of classic characters that have been around for years and years. And that's kind of when I decided I wanted to do character design.
Being a big fan of the Teen Titans series and of Transformers Animated, just wondering what you're doing next?
Working right now on a show called Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, which is it's another nostalgic project I'm working on, and they let me redesign Scooby and all the characters, and the story, the scripts are really good. It's getting really good reviews online. It just started airing in America. I think it's supposed to come out over here. I'm not sure when. I think we have to finish a certain amount of episodes before they deliver it to Cartoon Art UK. But we've gotten a really good response, and it's doing really well in the ratings in America, so hopefully you guys will like that too.
Are there any other series from the 80s or any other time show that you'd like to re-envision?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of DuckTales, and I liked all those Hasbro and Kenner shows, Mask and Visionaries and Humanoids, and I love all that stuff. So anything like that would be fun. Even like Ninja Turtles, I like. I don't know, anything that was on in the 80s. Gem.
Derrick, do you think that because you're a fan of the actual toys as well helped your influence the show?
I think so, yeah, because if I wasn't there in that capacity, Ratchet would still be Red Alert. They would have had Hotshot instead of Bumblebee. There would be no Swindle. There would be no cameo stuff like Spike and Carly. None of that stuff would have happened if I wasn't in that spot. So that was my big contribution to that.
What was the thing that you enjoyed most putting into the script? Was it the little nods to nostalgia or the new references?
They're both fun in different ways. I guess I like the nostalgic stuff the best because that's I grew up with that stuff, and it was really fun putting that stuff in. Even the bizarre stuff like Cancer or the Pretenders, it was a lot of fun just hiding those things and peppering them in the shows.
We got any more questions for Derrick?
I've got one.
Oh, okay.
You've talked about how you've obviously the characters that you like, that you think come up pretty well. Which characters have disappointed you in the end product?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have one that I can.
One that didn't quite completely.
You know what? I can say that's like I was a little disappointed that kind of they didn't make a leader-sized love knot, or I would have liked to see some of that stuff come into fruition. I have more regrets about things we didn't do than things we did.
Just to clear up internet speculation, Snarl and Slag.
Oh yeah, that's all you guys' fault. The slag is a dirty word here. So Hasbro said we couldn't use that because the UK market, they couldn't have a toy on the shelves with that name, so it's all your fault.
We used to.
Did you basically guard off comic book superheroes like Hawkeye for Rodimus and Fourth Ultra Magnus?
some of those we used as inspiration. Like Blur does a lot of flashlight things in the season opener to season 3, running across the galaxy and stuff. It's that was one of the mandates for the show, was they wanted a Transformers show that was about superheroes. So that's why they all have powers, like different things like that. Hi.
In season 3, there was more of a focus on the robot characters. I'm just kind of curious to know if you begin to include a human character a little bit more in season 3, what would we kind of have seen happen to the likes of Anthony Archer?
You mean a new character, a new human character, if I include, or?
Or if there were any new characters, just what would have happened on the human side of things?
Well,
would we have seen maybe a meeting happening with on a fantasy Powell?
yeah, definitely.
I would like to see that.
We probably would have seen that arc change. And I would like to have gotten back to that in season 4. A little more fan zone. We had plans for new human characters in season 4. We were going to do Sector 7 type agency with and would have a specific agent who was a relative of some cameo characters we had in the show. And I wanted to do characters like, I thought it'd be cool to do Buttons McBoom Boom robbing a bank at one point. I thought that would be really cool. And of course, Sari and Sumdak, their relationship and their arc would have, continued. And I also wanted to have the headmaster start a master force, so we could have a power master and a target master.
In the initial stages of planning Transformers Animated, the initial concept, was it similar to the recent Astro Boy cartoons, in which the Transformers must live in a society where robots are usually feared and loathed? Was that the initial idea behind Transformers Heroes, as it was called?
I don't know about the Hasbro side of things, but I don't think any of us on the Cartoon Network side watched any of those Astro Boys. Not the new series, no.
I mean, I noticed Captain Phantom looks a bit like acts and talks like Inspector Tawashi from Astro Boy, like he hates robots.
Fanzone's look comes from a BBC series called The Thin Blue Line. It's based on the kind of prickish character, Derrick something or other.
As this is your first trip to the UK to Auto Assembly, Derrick, how are you finding it?
It's a little overwhelming, but I'm having a good time.
Super.
With regards to Sari Sumdak, she became kind of like upgraded, she was kind of heart machine. Was that something you wanted to carry on in season 4, maybe expand upon her kind of transformation to become more Cybertronic and human?
Sari's story was going to continue with Art C acting as a role as a teacher, trying to teach Sari how to be Cybertronian. And yeah, so she was going to learn to control her powers more, and then they could open that up more. And we also wanted to do a flash forward episode that was set in the future where Galvatron ruled Cybertron, and there would be a futuristic Sari, whatever that would entail. So there would be a kind of that Sari in the future would be the goal that she's trying to reach.
Derrick, what episode do you think absolutely nailed what you were trying to get across with Transformers?
Like what epitomizes Transformers to me in those episodes? I think maybe the episode where we reveal Mega Supremes and the Seekers are attacking and Megatron's using Optimus as a shield, and that just like that was totally Transformers to me. That's what
Yeah, we said about a futuristic Sari. What would the vehicle mode be?
I don't know that she would have a vehicle mode, or we didn't get that far in the planning, so I don't know if she would be fully Cybertronian or not. She would definitely still be techno-organic.
In the Allspark Almanac 2, there's all of the different Sentinel ships with different captains, and one of them is Optimus Primal. Was there ever going to be some kind of link between the captain going missing and then the Beast Wars characters?
I think that was something Jim and Bill did. That's not really what we wanted to do with Optimus Primal. I'm not exactly sure where they got that from.
If you had a chance, would you do animated like Beast Wars, but animated style?
Yeah, you know, I think that Beast Wars, Beast Machines has a really great potential for continuing, and I'd like to see that happen at some point.
Hi again. Since we were just mentioning Beast Wars, can you tell us anything about what plans there may have been for Optimus Primal?
Okay, so Optimus Primal, we were going to have the Black Arachne experiment that was a clone of Optimus Prime that kind of went wrong, and Marty reminded me the episode name was supposed to be Truck versus Monkey. That would have been fun, though. I think that would have been really fun to have. Maybe Gary could have done the voice.
If you could go back and redo any series that you wanted to, redesign any characters or anything in that series, which one would it be?
It's tough. I don't really know. I guess I don't have an answer. I don't really know right now. I'm not sure. I think DuckTales would be fun. I don't know.
At the end of each series, obviously you had the Bridge Too Close, the like trapped all around, the big kind of double 3-part episodes. They were really epic and really grounded stories and epitomised what you wanted. Was something like that kind of the double episodes and the big kind of epic setup really something that you wanted to continue in season 4, like kind of the big plots?
I'm sure that would happen. Trial of Megatron was supposed to be a pretty big opener. Sometimes I like the smaller, more character-driven shows too. Like I thought Autoboot Camp was really fun, and you know, it allows us a way to introduce some more lesser-known characters and things. But that definitely would have continued too.
Sorry, me again. The Jet Twins, Jetfire and Jetstorm, are they based upon the Shaw-Ryujin symmetrical docking combiner from Gal Gaigar?
That's a question you have to ask Eric from Hasbro, because he had that idea even before. That's an idea that's carried over from Heroes, so that's one of his concepts. So I don't know if that symmetrical docking was in his mind or not. You'd have to ask him about that.
Swindle in the show, I think your favourite character. Would you have tried to put in your own compatible?
I didn't hear that, I'm sorry.
You had Swindle in the show, obviously, he was your favourite character. Would you have put the other compatible in?
Maybe. I think it would be, like, Devastator's obviously the first Gestalt you want to have in the show, and I think that Combaticons are like season 6 or 7.
Hi Derrick.
Hello.
So you're relatively new to coming onto the sort of convention circuits and going through and meeting the fans. How have you been finding it? Been enjoying it, or is it a bit of a trying experience?
No, I love it. You know, I'm a hard Transformers fan myself, so going to these things and meeting people is fun, and I like the panels and stuff, and I love doing the hunting for toys and it's funny though that each between BotCon and TFCon and Auto Assembly, they're totally completely different animals, and they're kind of all fun in their own way, and I really like them all. I enjoy them.
What inspired you to design Dirt Boss?
Dirt Boss? Oh, Dirt Boss was a Gurren Lagann inspiration. We wanted a short, squat head. He's kind of all head, and I think that because he was headmaster technology, he was going to have a triple, he would be triple changer with a head mode. We would become Devastator's head. Hello.
I just wanted to ask a quick question about Springer, because it was really nice to see him, even though it was on your hologram's head.
Yeah.
What was the deal with him? Was he going to be a triple changer, or was it just a single transformation?
Eric and I talked about Springer and maybe doing something that like a masked vehicle transformation where he would have a car mode, but then maybe his wings or his doors would pop open, so he had a glider mode. So maybe not a full-on triple changer, so it wouldn't be crazy like Blitzwing and a flying Autobot, but something sort of that would be. I think we were pretty happy with what we were coming up with.
Yeah, but it's a dirt boss. If he's based off Largan from Colin Largan, do you have any ideas of making it be able to combine with Scrap and Mix Master?
Well, there would be other Constructicons involved in the Devastator, so he wouldn't probably combine with just them.
Do you have any ideas what the other two would be?
Who the other Constructicons? Well, there will be at least 2 more. I'm not sure which ones, but then there was also one very unwilling component of Devastator we were going to have, who was sort of trapped in the middle.
You mentioned you are a fan of hunting yourself. Is there anything you're hunting around for today?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Is there any toy you're hunting around for today?
Oh, I did pretty well this weekend already. I don't know if there's anything else I'm super looking for.
Any other questions, guys?
Sorry, another question. What was about the decision to make Red Alert Femme instead of Mech?
That comes from Heroes, pre-production design that was done before I came on the show. There's a comic book artist who's a friend of mine named Eric Canetti, and he had done a pass at all the Bulkhead, and at that time Ratchet was Red Alert, and they had considered an idea of having a female Red Alert. So Eric showed me all that design work that Eric had done, Eric Canetti, and I really liked that female Red Alert, so I decided to keep that.
If there was a season 4 of Untitled Chapter, who would have replaced Paul?
Jazz. Jazz was going to join the team.
Have we any more questions for Derrick?
Okay. If you could make literally any kind of show you wanted, and it didn't have to be tied to any existing property, but what sort of show would you do? You know, anything. If it was entirely up to you, what would you do?
I don't know. It's kind of a question that I'm at the point in my career where I've kind of met all my goals, and it's kind of the question I need to figure out and answer for myself, but I don't have an answer right now. I wouldn't mind doing ABC Warriors. That would be fun.
What was the aspect of Auto Assembly you were looking forward to the most?
What?
What were you looking forward to about Auto Assembly the most coming here this year?
It's my first time to England. I was really looking forward to that, and I'm a big toy collector, so that's a big draw for me. Getting to, especially coming somewhere I've never come before, and getting to see the selection of stuff that they have, and I was really impressed with what everybody had and the stuff I bought. So that's a big part of it, and also getting to meet other Transformers fans.
Yeah, hi. You say you collect the figures. Do you have a favourite?
Swindle.
Animated.
Yeah, he's my favorite toy of all time. But I also have a collection of the G1 Swindles and G2 and all the weird knockoffs. So I think my favorite thing to collect is actually the cassette animals and all the weird colorations and knockoffs of those.
Did you have any ideas for like an animated Cup and Wheelie that could be working in the scrap recycling unit?
Well, we did a Cup and Wheelie for the second Allspark Almanac, and So yeah, I really wanted to finish off the 86 movie cast and get Scourge, get everybody else in there, because those are some of my favorite characters.
Hi again.
Hello.
If you were asked to do Transformers show again, would you do it in a similar style to animated or completely different?
I guess it depends if they wanted a continuation or something new. If they wanted a new series, I don't think I would go back to that style. I would try to do something different.
If you could go back to redesigning the cassette box, would you add Frenzy or Rumble?
What's that?
Would you add Frenzy or Rumble?
Oh yeah.
As long as Rumble's blue.
Yeah, episode Transwarp Part 1, the rumours that Oil Slick wasn't going to appear in the anime, so what made you change your mind and put Oil Slick in it?
I don't know that we ever... I just think that, that when... I don't know that we ever weren't going to, it just was, we were looking for the right time to put it in.
Folks, we'll just come up to the end of the Q&A, so we've got a couple more questions and then we'll wrap it up. So, any more questions for Derrick?
With Soundwave popping in and out, obviously being quite a popular character, you had obviously added Rat Patin later on. Did you have any plans to introduce obviously you mentioned Rumble trying to expand on his kind of cassette army in later episodes?
Yeah, I definitely would have wanted to do. It gets weird because I don't know if there would be more musical instruments or what, but I would definitely want to put more of those characters in there.
Hello again. This is kind of a bit of a random question, but if you were in charge of the third Transformers movie, how would you handle it?
What was that?
If you were in charge of the third Transformers movie, how would you handle it?
Oh,
random one. Just curious.
I would, well, that's tough. I think, I mean, I'd obviously design it different, I'd cast it differently, I'd want it directed differently, so it would be a lot different. Here's what I like about Transformers. I like that these giant, imposing robots can be characters, too. I think that's, one thing that's really lacking to me in that stuff is that I like character-driven, entertainment, and I think that having Peter Cullen do the voice of Optimus brings a lot of character to it, but if it was written with more heart and more character, I think that would be my main thing I want to do, other than redesign everything.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's closing that Q&A off. So could you put your hands together for Mr. Derrick J Wyatt?
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on the like button and leave us a comment below. Also, spare a moment to share this video on Twitter, Facebook, and all your social media pages. To get updates on all of our latest videos delivered straight to your inbox, subscribe now using the link on the screen.